Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. Right, so the Banquet event is almost here. It starts later today and there are a lot of questions and a lot of things people are still continuously asking. Therefore, I'm going to make this video to kind of answer the most frequently asked questions and lay out the information the best we can right now. So here first is the Alliance milestone graphic, which I do think is the more important bit here for most players because of the way the Banquet event has been set this year, and that's me being polite. Many of the alliances will largely just focus on hitting all the Alliance milestones and not necessarily go for all the individual solo milestones. So, especially in the middle and lower tiers. So in order to hit max alliance milestones, you will need 1,036,000 points, which will equate to individual 34,000 points, which effectively will require about 1,000 unit investment from you. So if every single player in your alliance spends 1,000 units on Greater Banquet crystals, basically, you all get the milestones, all of them. So that will include the 3-star relic, the tier 2 alphas, the tier 5 basics, I think 5 greater gifting crystals, but you can be opening these as you go along, some 4-star relics, tier 1 dust, 15,000 6-star shards, a quarter of tier 3 alpha and tier 6 basic. I'm sorry, I just cannot not laugh at this. 1 6-star nexus, 1 6-star Ascension, which is a bargain for 1,000 units, let's face it, because Kabam's charging $40 for 25 tier 2 dust in the summoner market, and also a 7-star crystal. So, realistically speaking, regardless of how disappointed we are about the event overall, we cannot deny that, for 1,000 units, it will present a lot of value for virtually every level of alliance. There is the 7-star crystal, there is the tier 2 primordial dust in there, which is appealing even to the highest progression levels. And obviously everything along the way till those final 2 milestones can be useful to lower progression levels as well. Again, event is absolutely not what we hoped it to be, but we should not pretend that for 1,000 units getting a 4-star and a 6-star Ascension is somehow a bad deal. It isn't. Just the event itself is not what we would have, what many people hoped it would be, to put it lightly. Now, there is another graphic going around, and this is more regards the solo milestones. So if you can zoom in, well, it's not a graphic, it's a spreadsheet. I do not know who made it, but it appeared in my Alliance chat, so I figured I might as well cover it. So this will effectively show you how much units you need to invest in order to get the milestones and which milestone is needed for how many units. So we can see that the first milestones you will get for free, including the deathless guillotine piece, because you do get these very, very early, and you do get some units from the event. So you can see it tells you how many greater Banquet crystals you have to buy and how many units it will actually cost you, and then you see what you will get for it. So you can use this to kind of orient yourself, like I'm gonna spend 3,000 units. That's going to get you up to tier 5 class catalyst and no further. So that's the first takeaway there, really. If your budget is 3,000 units, it's not really worth doing. I would stop at 1,000 units because I don't think a 6-star Awakening Gem, 5-star Relic, tier 5 class catalyst is worth the 2,000 units. If your budget stretches further into the realm of 7-star Crystal, tier 6 class catalyst selector, or something like that, then, maybe. Realistically speaking, I think it's 1,000 unit or 10,000 unit type of affair. I would not go anywhere in between, because the 9,000 units, aside from the obvious greater Banquet crystals that you get, and maybe you get lucky in the greater Banquet crystals, offer you absolutely nothing of value. And I think that is one of the reasons why community kind of reacted as harsh to this event, because after the 1,000 unit gain that you have from getting all the alliance milestones and the initial units there, there's just nothing really until you get to the 9,000 unit mark to get tier 6 class catalyst selector or maybe a 6-star relic. So again, you either go 1,000 or 10,000 that is my recommendation for the people, because, you know, getting the 7-star gifted Guardian's Crystal, getting some greater Banquet Crystals, tier 6 class Catalyst Selector, there's a bit of value there. If you feel like you could only get to, let's say, 7,000 units, don't do it. There will be far better ways to invest 6,000 units that you would have left over after you spend the first 1,000. So that is kind of the big takeaway of this video. Make sure it's either 1,000 unit affair or a 10,000 unit affair, letting you get the second 7-star gifted Guardian's Crystal from the solo milestones. Right. So there are obviously more questions coming along, and perhaps I'm gonna try my best to answer them. The 14-day lockout is something that I still get asked quite a lot, and the way the 14-day lockout will work is that even if you join an alliance today, like 2 hours before the event actually starts, you will be able to benefit from this event. You just need to wait 14 full days and then open your Greater Banquet Crystals, and then you will be able to contribute to the event in the last couple of hours, get your points, get your milestones, get your rewards, and get your rank stuff as well. As long as you are in Alliance before the event starts, in theory, you can make it in time within that time windows, like, however much time you joined before the event started, to contribute on the last day. So if you joined yesterday, that's very simple. Just wait till the last day, you're going to be able to participate. If you joined a week ago, you're going to need to wait 1 more week after the event starts. But the crucial part here is do not open Greater Banquet Crystals before the timeout, before the lockout. So what will 10k units get me rank rewards wise? Nobody really knows. It will really be based on participation. Likely it is going to be 3 to 5%, which we can take a look at. I don't think 10,000 units alone is going to get to 1%. Maybe it does, but my guess would be somewhere in this range. And there is quite a big difference in between 1% rewards and 3% and 5% rewards, because if you do get to 1%, it does have a 6-star 4 to 5 gem. It does have tier 6 basics, tier 3 alphas. At 3%, it really doesn't anymore. So that's another thing to take in consideration, that I don't think that with 10k units you would make it into the 1%. There will likely be 3 or 5, which basically has nothing in terms of rank rewards, or very little. There's 3 to 4 gem, it has like 2,500 or 1,000 7-star hero crystal shards, 6-star awakening gem that's, effectively dime a dozen now, relatively useless for most, and you can take a look at it here. That is my guess. It by no means is based on like some data, but it, I think it will likely throw you at 3 to 5%. But again, nobody really knows, so take that with a huge grain of salt. Will I be able to gift consumables? A lot of people have been under the impression that I will, but that is not the case. Last year was the only time we had any type of item gifting allotted to us, and this is not longer gifting event for a reason. They changed the name, it's the Banquet event. There will be no gifting of revives, of refills, of potions, of anything. Only thing you will be able to send to your teammates will be these accolades, which is effectively going to be tokens saying good job to them. And as you give accolades to your teammates, you will be earning Greater Banquet Crystals, effectively. Why is the event so bad for Paragon and Valiant players? Okay, this is a bit funny, but because 8 stars. Do you want 8 stars? This is how you get 8 stars, according to Kabam Mike, which was one of the filthiest examples of fear-mongering I think I have seen in a recent history on Kabam forums, because having some tier 6 basics, tier 3 alphas, and tier 6 CCs, and 6-star rank up gems have no impact whatsoever on when 8 stars will be released, and we all know it. And I thought it was extremely disingenuous and dirty to bring up 8 stars when people are talking about tier 6 basics, tier 3 alphas, 6-star rank 4 to 5 rank up gems. Because think to yourself, do 4-star rank up gems have any impact on how 6 stars get released in the game? Like, do you think the 4-star 4 to 5 rank up gems ever at any point had any impact when and how 6 stars get introduced to the game? Obviously not. So we're talking about relatively top end 6-star resources, bottom end 7-star resources, and that will never impact how 8 stars come to the game. So that was so bad. I wasn't as mad about the Banquet event being bad as I was at Kabam Mike trying to fearmonger the community with that comment, I'll be honest. Or because Necropolis had to be better rewards, according to Kabam John, which again doesn't answer the issue really, but those are the two answers we have gotten from them. Because, they wanted the best rewards to be in Necropolis, fair enough. It still doesn't stop them from putting some tier 6 basics, tier 3 alphas, tier 6 CCs, and 6-star rank 4 to 5 gems in, milestone rewards. But whatever. And the real reason, probably, realistically, is because the event is not progression based. And the game is super stretched right now. And that is evident with the fact that out of 18 milestones, 15 milestones are useless for Valiant players. And that can only happen, and that only does happen, when these events are not progression based. Now, again, there is upside and there is downside to it. Any event that is not progression based by default will be better to lower progression players, which is the case here. This event is insanely amazing for calves, for for calves, for Thronebreakers, for newer players to the game. This event is crazy good, and we need to recognize that. For top end Thronebreakers for top end Paragons and for top end Valiant players, it's always worse if an event is not progression based. Additionally, again, there is upside and downside to that. Last one, is it worth spending 10k units on this? Absolutely not, unless you have 100% Necropolis. Necropolis is far, far, far better rewards. Obviously, you need to put in the effort. As I said in the beginning of the video, this is much more like 1k units or 10k units type of affair. You need to pick and choose which group of players you want to be. But keep in mind that if you do stop in the middle of spending 6, 7, 8k units, you will basically get no meaningful additional benefit. So here we are. Let me know what you guys think. If there are any more questions, and I'll try my best to answer them. And I'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information